Hi friends, it's Carly and I am finally here to do the review that I've been promising for a few days now, maybe about a week. But before I do that, I want to thank everybody so much for participating in the live stream last night. I talked about some things that I'm starting that are a little bit new, a little bit different, and I got some really awesome feedback and suggestions from you all that I am definitely going to be running with. If you missed the live stream, it is already uploaded so you can catch it in the feed here. Or if you want to know what's going on with Annoying You with Friendship, you can always find me at Annoying Car on Facebook, or you can just search in the Facebook search bar, Annoying You with Friendship. I'm also doing updates daily on Instagram at Your Annoying Friend Car with underscores between each word. You can now find me on Twitter at Annoying Car. I'm really just linking there now, so follow me if you have a Twitter and hopefully we'll get things rolling. But right now you can find all of my links there. And we are uploading daily on the website, which is annoyingyouwithfriendship.com. So there is a lot to look forward to, a lot of places to get information, a lot of places to share. And I just want to thank you guys again for being so open and willing to give me your ideas and recommendations, and I think that some really fun things are going to be happening in the new year. So with all of that said, let's get into this review. We've been waiting for far too long to talk about Rogue. I am so happy to see that many of my friends and fellow group members and, just acquaintances in the toy community are getting their hands on this figure pretty easily, which is great. It seems like Target is just doing a really good job lately. If you missed my live stream about Target, please go back and watch that. I was talking about how they are working to prevent people from scalping toys, which is great, exclusives and other toys as well. So I'm just really appreciative of Target, and the fact that people are able to find Rogue and Gambit, who we will be talking about soon, so easily is just, it just feels good, especially at the holiday season. So again, 3 cheers to Target. Right now I feel like they're just killing the game. But here is our little Anna, our Southern Belle, our Rogue. And for those of you who know, this vintage 90s Rogue, I think everybody who's probably watching this channel knows, but we'll go ahead and talk just very briefly that the original version of this 90s Rogue became like one of the super sought after figures of probably of Marvel Legends history, or at least recent history. And as you guys know, Marvel Legends collecting is pretty new to me. I've been doing it for just a little bit over a year. So before that, I was primarily collecting art toys, comics, and manga. And in the last year, I've just blown up with Marvel Legends. But this was a figure that I really, really wanted, the original one. And people were selling it for $180. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a $20 figure. So I just could never pull the trigger on that. But when I found out that they were re-releasing her, I couldn't wait to have her. And I am so glad that I picked this figure up. I cannot recommend her enough. It is one of the most satisfying female action figures that I've had probably ever. So you guys know that I got the Rogue Pyro 2-pack, and I loved that Rogue too. But, it doesn't have the same feel as the iconic 90s Rogue. And one of the things, we'll just get it right out there, right off the bat, that I'm so happy with this figure is that they gave her the body that she has in the cartoon. This is what she looks like. I mean, in the cartoon, in the comics. And we've seen really strange versions of characters from Hasbro in the past where they alter female bodies in a way that is not representative of the way that it was drawn. I would try to get her out, but I know that it's gonna fall. Maybe I can. But Jean Grey is one that, oh my gosh, that was crazy. This Age of Apocalypse Jean Grey was voluptuous. She was a grown woman. And she just happened to be a voluptuous woman. But they gave her this very thin, sort of adolescent body, which was so strange. Not with Rogue. She looks the way that she's supposed to look. And I'm just really happy about it. She's curvy. She looks, I don't know, she just looks the way that she's supposed to. So it's really great to see that. And I'm hoping that, Hasbro is taking a cue from some of us collectors who have been saying for a while that it's really strange the way that they alter bodies. Having a character who is naturally slim and who isn't voluptuous is completely fine. For instance, Negasonic Teenage Warhead is a young girl and she isn't very voluptuous. So that figure totally makes sense. And it's, you know, I like the way that it looks. We're gonna talk about that one eventually too. I'm just looking at it over here. Rogue wasn't like that. So I'm really, really glad that this figure looks the way that it should. I wish they could have done the same with this figure, but I can kind of see the potential for customizing this figure into an Age of Apocalypse Jean. If that's something that you're into, I think that this body would be perfect for Jean. So maybe that's something somebody can get into. Let me know if you're a customizer, if you want to give that a shot, because this one was really disappointing and this one is anything but. So let's take a really close look at her face. I love the face. Now, I've heard a few people say that they didn't like it so much. The artwork on the package, which I'm really bummed that I did not save. I don't know why I didn't. But she's sort of smiling. I really like the smiling Rogue, but I mean, I'm kind of struggling to see what people are complaining about here. I think she looks beautiful. I think the paintwork is clean. She has, you know, a little bit more of an intense expression, but she's gorgeous. And again, she looks really true to the original source material. So I love it. The hair is really great, really big and 90s with her, you know, her headband, which is vinyl and very flexible. So you know, that head, the facial sculpt, the paintwork, the hair, I think are perfect. I have literally no complaints. If you are someone who doesn't like the facial sculpt, tell me more about it. I want to hear about it in the comments, because for me, I think she looks pretty spectacular. So she's got her little vinyl jacket on, which looks beautiful. And then straight into the yellow and green bodysuit. I really examined these in the package to make sure that I didn't get one that had any unnecessary bleeding or anything. And I think I got a really good one. So, you know, with the green and yellow paint, it's always kind of a crapshoot if you're gonna have weird paint issues. And I looked really hard to make sure that I wouldn't. There's a little bit of chipping right here, but for the most part, there's no like bleeding over, and she looks really, really good. The accessories that she came with were just an additional set of hands. The ones where she is removing her glove. So she's got one bare hand and a gloved hand holding her removed glove, which I really like. I think these look cool. I think there's a great opportunity to use all of these hands. So it's a small accessories pack, but totally functional, makes sense. I always kind of take issue with these belts that sort of like, there's nowhere for them to sit. I don't know that there's a great solution for that. And I am reaching, because honestly, there's nothing about this figure that I don't like. So that's something that I think, you know, is a little bothersome. I almost would just like to see it just put it around her waist and make it tighter, rather than have it flopping about, because it doesn't really sit down over her hips. There's really no way to like get it to work properly. But again, not that big a deal. And her boots, so the tops of her boots are loose. And I imagine, I've never really seen this like this before, but I know that there are other figures whose boots are like this. And I think it's probably just to be able to bend her knees so that nothing is really obstructing that. But they do look a little bit strange. It's just these weird rings that like, there's no great place to put them. They don't sit evenly. The tops of her boots sort of spin willy-nilly. I mean, I think those could have been done better, but at the end of the day, you can also make them look fine. I mean, whether they're down or up, you can mess with them. So I don't really have a problem with that either. Obviously, there's always room for small improvements, but for the most part, from top to bottom, again, I think this might be one of the best female figures I've had this year. And up until this point, I was really giving everything to the Classified series because it was so stellar. So even Scarlet, who had the most issues for me of all of the ones that I've looked at so far, was a far better female figure than most of the Marvel Legends I'm getting, but I think they might have turned it out with this Rogue, honestly. Just because she looks so beautiful. The points of articulation are what we expect from the female figures, but you can see that everything is very smooth. It works really, really well. You know, I've made this commitment to not try to complain too much about things that they aren't going to change and just look at what we've got. And I think that what we have here works really well. I am always disappointed about a missing waist because there isn't a good reason for that. She could turn, sorry about the focus, she could turn right here. Even if it was a little high, even if it wasn't anatomically perfect, she could have a turning waist. So that does bug me a little bit, but, you know, they're just not going to do that. So I'm going to stop complaining about it. But, you know, she has, there's not really great turning in the actual hip here. It's a little bit awkward, but, you can get a pretty good like leg lift and split out of her. The knees work really great. Pointing toes are really important to me, and I'm never disappointed with those. And we can look at her hands. We'll switch those out real quick. For the, you know, it's kind of been a struggle to figure out how to talk about this figure because, you know, I don't have anything to be very critical of. Sorry, I got her hands on backwards. I don't have anything to be very critical of, and I don't feel like it's always the most useful thing to have a review that's all positive, but when you've been looking forward to something for so long and it is almost exactly what you wanted, I mean, really, in every case, this is exactly what I wanted. I mean, I just don't want to complain about her. I think she's great. So here's what she looks like with her alternate hands on. I do think the fingers on this hand are a little bit long. Maybe a little abnormally long for her height, if we're going to get super critical. But I don't want to get super critical, so this is her. I just really couldn't be more happy. I applaud Hasbro for taking the opportunity to make this figure look the way that she is supposed to, the way that the source material looks. She's voluptuous and beautiful. She looks strong. She looks like, you know, the Rogue that we know and love from the 90s, and I'm just really, really happy to have her. So I am sorry this took me so long to get out, you guys, but I hope that it's worth it. I hope that you are getting your hands on your Rogue and your Gambit and your Storm, and just feeling so happy about that. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this body. Let me know if you think that this would be a good custom opportunity. I've tried to customize before and I'm horrible at it, but maybe I'll give it another shot. I don't know. Because this is my only Jean Grey and I want her so bad, but she just makes me angry. So maybe I'll try to customize another one. Let me know what you guys think about in the comments if you have any suggestions, and I will be back really soon with Gambit because we need to talk about him. There is also a Sideshow Gambit coming out, and I think he's worth having a chat about as well. So I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for checking out all my socials. Thank you for giving me suggestions and recommendations. And we are just going to keep this annoying train rolling. So let me know what you guys want to see after Gambit in the comments, and I will be back very soon with another one. Thanks for watching. Bye, friends.